Hey guys, it's Jason from BodyWorx Physio. Here today to talk to you about ankle bracing versus taping. Ankle sprains, inversion sprains, where you roll your ankle, are one of the most common injuries we see in sporting teams. So it's really important to try and prevent them. So some of your US basketball teams and that will actually pre-tape the entire team before playing, and some of the AFL teams are similar to that. So they'll tape every ankle of the entire team in order to try and prevent injuries. Generally speaking, we don't usually recommend pre-taping if you haven't had any injuries, but when you're looking at professional sport teams where they're being paid multi-hundreds of thousands of dollars to perform and not be injured, then you can understand why some of them would do that. They also have larger budgets, so some of the AFL teams have $175,000 budget a year just for their strapping tape. So what are the options we have? So both braces and taping have both been shown to prevent injuries, and we've done some videos on ankle taping before. So studies have shown that they both have a similar rate of preventing ankle sprains, and we find that most of that prevention comes from the proprioception, or the feedback our brain is getting and our muscles are getting from the contact with the skin, rather than the actual structural support, because we know that taping itself loses most of its structural strength and support within about 15 to 20 minutes of applying it and playing. The great thing about braces is, yes, they cost a little bit extra, but if you work it out over the length of a season, so if you're training twice a week and playing and you're taping for each of those, you may find that, I'm sure you will find, unless you get really cheap tape, that the cost of wearing a brace will be cheaper than buying all the tape that you need for that season, unless your club's supplying it all. The other benefit of this is it's not dependent on how good you are or the person who's taping you is. One of the problems we see with a lot of people is we may teach them how to tape, and then they come back in a few days later and they've taped it themselves, and it's nothing like what we've shown them in the clinic, and it's also not doing the job that we wanted to. And that's normal, because it does take skill and a bit of practice to get taping an ankle right, just like any skill is. So braces are great because you can slip them on, tighten them up, and it's done. As long as you can do a shoe up, it's basically the same level of skill. So the bracelet types that I like to recommend, and what I would always recommend to you, and it doesn't matter what brand of brace there are, because there's a number of brands produce a brace like this. Don't go for your stretchy thermoskin, sort of elasticized ones, because they really do nothing other than provide compression. They're not going to prevent you spraining your ankle. What you're looking for is a brace like this that has, to start with, under the base of it all, lace-ups. This is a new type of brace that we have here at the clinic that's a quick lace-up one. So it's got two Velcro straps. You can see, slip your foot in, tighten the Velcro straps, and pop them down like that, so they're hooked on. Make sure you put them on the right way, if that makes sense. So loop them over so they're hooked on, nice and tight. You always want to make sure the laces on these braces are really tight, so make sure when you're getting them, make sure they're fitted correctly for your foot. We then want to use your nylon figure 8 straps to wrap around and up, pulling with a good amount of tension, the same as you would as when you're doing your heel locks on your tape, and then overwrap it with an elastic, just to hold all the laces and everything in place. So it's really quick and easy to put on for yourself. They have the same efficacy in stopping injuries as the tape. A lot of people, one of the common misconceptions is if they wear a brace, it's going to weaken their ankle. We do know that it doesn't weaken the ankle. My concern sometimes is that people become psychologically addicted to it, so that they feel that they can't perform without it. That's something to keep in mind as well. They don't replace the need for a good rehab program, so you should always team your taping and your bracing with a good proprioceptive strengthening program that we have covered in some other videos, or you should talk to your physio about getting one of those programs done up for you and monitored for you. So that's really important. One of the things, or the comments that we do get about braces, is they can affect your touch on the ball. So especially if you're playing soccer, I will sometimes recommend then that people use these for training, but for games when you really want to have that good touch on the ball, tape up when you've got the sports trainer on the sideline there to help you. So I hope that's answered a few questions for you. If you've got any questions or any concerns, please send us an email, pop a comment on one of the videos, and I'll try and deal with it in one of our future videos. Thanks and have a great day.